Alright, this is 5-6, Lesson 1, Factoring Trinomials by Grouping. I prefer using the AC method, and that's what I'm going to go over now. What you may have learned in earlier math classes is X method, where you have your number up here and your number down there. That method is fine and it works, and if that's what works for you, go for it. I do it a little bit differently. Before we dive into this, we need to remember the standard form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. A is the number in front of the square term, b is the number in front of the x term, and c is the last thing you have. Alright, so now let's get into it. I want to factor 4y squared plus 12y plus 9. My goal to factor this is to use grouping, and in order to do grouping I need 4 pieces. Well, I don't have 4 pieces right now, I only have 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up the 12 so that I have 4 pieces. So we do this by getting everything that multiplies to give me a times c. In other words, 4 times 9 for this one is 36. So that's 1 times 36, that's 2 times 18, that's 3 times 12, 4 times 9, 6 times 6, and if I went further on this list I would be back to where I was because I then have 9 times 4. Now what I do is I'm going to compare it to b, which is 12, by adding. What's 1 plus 36? Does 37 match 12? No. What's 2 plus 18? Does that match 12? No. 3 plus 12 is 15, 4 plus 9 is 13, 6 plus 6 is 12. This is the combination that I want. So now I'm going to rewrite 4y squared. Instead of 12y, I'm going to go plus 6y plus 6y plus 9. Now, how many pieces do I have? Oh, I have 4 pieces. What method do I use? Well, anytime you have 4 pieces, factor by grouping. So you group the first 2, and you group the second 2. Alright, so what's common to the first 2? 2 and y, leaving behind 2y plus 3. What's common to the second 2? Oh, 3. So plus 3, leaving behind 2y plus 3. I have 2y plus 3 in both places, so I'm going to factor that out, leaving behind 2y plus 3. Now it turns out that this one was a perfect square, and we'll learn shortcuts for recognizing that later. But what I wanted to get out of it was, we have 3 pieces. We want to use grouping, so I need 4 pieces, and I break up the middle. 12 becomes 6 plus 6. Now, there's an infinite number of ways to break up 12. Like I said, it could have been 11 and 1, it could have been 3 and 9, it could have been 2 and 10. But we need the one that matches a times c and adds to be 12. It's the same thing you would have done with the x method. Alright, let's do the next one real quick. Alright, we have 6x squared, and that should be plus 27x minus 15. I don't know why that didn't come out right. Alright, so again, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and do AC method. And 6 times 15 is negative 90. And then we have b is equal to 27. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my complete list, but eventually you can look at it and say, I think it's, no, I can't even do that one in my head. 30 and negative 3, or negative 30 and 3, something like that, but we'll see in a second. So I know that 1 times negative 90, and if I add it, I get negative 89. Is that 27? No. 2 times negative 45 is negative 90. When I add them, I get negative 43. Nope, that's not what I want. 3 and negative 30, which adds to be negative 27. Oh, that almost looks right, except for the sign, huh? So if you ever get the right thing but the sign is different, just change all of the signs. So negative 3 goes into negative 90 positive 30 times, and when you add it, you get positive 27. See that what I did was just change all of the signs? Well, now that I have something that multiplies to be 90 and adds to be 27, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite what I originally had. 6x squared plus 27x minus 15. The 27 is what's being broken up. What is it being broken up to? Negative 3 and 30. So I have 6x squared minus 3x plus 30x minus 15. Do you see if I added these, I would get positive 27? Alright, anytime you have four terms, factor by grouping. 3x goes into both of these, leaving behind 2x minus 1. 15 goes into both of these, positive 15, just so I get that plus there, leaving behind 2x minus 1. Oh look, it's 2x minus 1 and 2x minus 1. So I factor that out, leaving behind 3x plus 15. That's it. We're done.